This is your Northwoods hunting tip of the week. We enjoy hunting the species of our choice. However, we also should be aware that when we go into the woods, we should come out of the woods the same way, meaning safely, whether that is always wearing a safety harness in a tree stand or wearing the proper clothing identification during specific hunting seasons such as deer, or going in and out when turkey hunting if you have a bird or you're setting up on a bird, public or private land, because people are on places where they're not supposed to be and do things they're not supposed to do. You have people that love you, that want to see you come back home. So being smart about the proper safety precautionary measures in order to hunt safely and come home, whether you're successful in that hunt or not, should be the number one key. Each year we sadly see reports of hunters being shot by other hunters because they're not paying attention to what is beyond or what they're shooting at. Don't be that hunter. This has been your Northwoods hunting tip of the week. This is your Northwoods hunting tip of the week. Now that it's time to start planning for next year's archery season and getting that bow out and getting the memory muscles repetitively active is important for a more confident and accurate shot. Now, I set my target range up at 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50 yards, predominantly focusing on 20 and 30 yards. My target is on a pallet with a 2x4 frame. The target box or target bag is hung off that frame with screw-in hooks. The bag I got for $10 at a yard sale, and everything else was found. Behind that bag, the backstop, is the vinyl bags or canvas bags, whatever you want, the plastic bags you get at like IKEA, filled in with leaf debris, stack them up behind, cover them with a black cloth, and that makes a great backstop and stops the arrows. This has been your Northwoods hunting tip of the week. This is your Northwoods hunting tip of the week. Is there one camouflage pattern that's better than others? We all have our loyalty to potentially a specific brand. My wife and I were fortunate enough to ask that question to former H&S Strut pro staffer Rick White, and he had a very interesting answer to that.
Camouflage is camoufage. It all works. Okay, is one better than the other? You know, when we go and buy camouflage, we go into the store and we're looking at it on the shelf and we go, oh my gosh, that looks fantastic. That looks like great stuff. Well, all we're really doing is appeasing ourselves. We don't know what the animals, well, we kind of do, because we actually, here's kind of a neat thing that we did years ago. We actually took, so deer see primarily black and white colors, and we took a bunch of different camos and took black and white photos of all the different camouflages at that time in a tree stand. And would you have a guess to what blended in the best in a tree, black and white?
Something that's got probably a lot of breakup in it.
Snow camel.
Okay.
Snow camel blended in the best, but nobody wears snow camel into a tree stand.
So there's nothing wrong with whatever camouflage pattern you have. Just make sure that it kind of fits the background in which you are hunting, to do your best to break up your pattern. This has been your Northwoods hunting tip of the week. This is your Northwoods hunting tip of the week. If you're not a member of a hunting organization, I would ask you to seriously consider looking at what may apply to you for your hunting situation, whether it's National Wild Turkey Federation, whether it's Whitetail Unlimited, Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, Mule Deer Foundation, whatever organization that applies to you. Why would you want to be part of one of these organizations? It allows you to actively contribute to wildlife conservation, for habitat restoration, and other projects in order to helping the particular organization focus on that species in which you're hunting. They also will fight for your right as hunters from people trying to take that right away from you. I'm a member of the National Wild Turkey Federation. My wife is a member of Whitetails Unlimited. We are doing our part to help support those organizations to fight for those who want and enjoy the sport of hunting. This has been your Northwoods hunting tip of the week. This is your Northwoods hunting tip of the week. When it comes to turkey hunting, you do not have to have a turkey vest in order to get in the woods and harvest a turkey. For many years, I would use a dove hunting vest, one that had the shell pockets here and just an open back on the back side, and I would use fanny packs to haul my calls around. This one has multiple pockets for box calls and diaphragms and slates. Not ideal, but it was practical for the application I was needing. Recently purchased a hunting vest on Macari. And you can go as, got this one for about $25. They can run anywhere from $60 to over $200 based on how many pockets you want, the accessories that come along with it. But a hunting vest, if you can get a good deal on it, allows you to have everything in reaching proximity and organization, where it makes your hunt a little more enjoyable. This has been your Northwoods Hunting Tip of the Week. This is your Northwoods Hunting Tip of the Week. When I go and buy hunting equipment, I want it to last as long as possible. One thing I can offer you is, if you're going to do such, go to and physically touch the cloth or the item in which you're purchasing. Prime example, bought this hand muff in the summer of 2023 off Amazon. Extremely loud, doesn't keep your hands warm, poorly sewn. I had to keep re-sewing the strap on it, and I pulled it out of the bag recently, and the zipper is just completely disintegrates. Has another patch on the back side, but I don't care about that. So last fall I went and purchased a hand muff from my local outdoor store. Quiet as can be, warm as can be, and this will last much longer, properly sewn as well. In addition, this is a fanny pack I purchased in 1998. The only thing I had to recently repair is the clip, lasting a long time. This has been your Northwoods Hunting Tip of the Week. This is your Northwoods Hunting Tip of the Week. As we get closer to turkey season, if you're a new turkey hunter or an advanced one, it's time for a refresher course. You can go to Google and type in sounds of a wild turkey, and the first link will direct you to the National Wild Turkey Federation page, where they list all of the sounds that turkeys make and a description of what they are and the purpose in which the turkey makes, or the hen makes it. And you can listen to each one of those and try to mimic them on your diaphragm, box call, or slate call. You can also go to YouTube and watch hunters make these sounds, or physical media as well. We're trying to mimic the most realistic sound in the woods to lure that gobbler away from, or to expected what he thinks are hens, so you can have a successful hunt. This has been your Northwoods Hunting Tip of the Week. This is your Northwoods Hunting Tip of the Week. When deer hunting in cold conditions, we have footwear in which we enjoy wearing. However, that may not be the same footwear that works well for early season deer or spring turkey. I wear an 800 mil thermal insulated rubber boot, and I have for a couple of years now, and it's just not comfortable in those non-cold conditions. So I've recently purchased a pair of light rubber boots, which works best in my situation, for spring turkey and early fall deer. The purpose of that is to have some variations in which is adaptable to the conditions that you're hunting, that you're not wearing a thermal boot when it's 80 degrees outside, or you're not wearing the same shoes that you're pumping gas with and bringing potential scent into the woods and contaminating your area. This has been your Northwoods Hunting Tip of the Week. This is your Northwoods Hunting Tip of the Week. If you're in the market for a firearm, a handgun, rifle, muzzleloader, shotgun, I would encourage you, if you're looking for a lower cost point for that type of firearm, go to your gun store. Every gun store that I've been in has a used gun section of all of those makes, manufacturers, and calibers. Now, if you're looking for a specific type and a specific color and a specific caliber or gauge, then going brand new is the way to go on that. But if you've got some time and you're not keen in on a certain specific type of gun, then a used gun rack at the gun store is a good place to start. That's where I got my 870 Remington 12 gauge, both barrels, as well as my CVA muzzleloader. All were used and have served me very well in the field. This has been your Northwoods Hunting Tip of the Week. This is your Northwoods Hunting Tip of the Week. Wild turkeys have incredible eyesight and pinpoint hearing capabilities, which means that they can identify basically where you're setting from a quarter of a mile away while you're calling them. So what does that mean? That means slow motion as they're coming in, like we may think when we're deer hunting, kind of get away with it a little bit, mimicking the tree movement and trying to trick the whitetail's eye. Doesn't work for wild turkeys, no matter what kind of camouflage you're wearing. So the only time you want to move is when that turkey is in full strut facing away from you, or if it's walking past obstructions such as trees, you can get your gun up. Now, there's bipods in which you can mount to the front of your gun to make stabilization for a longer hold easier. Also, the other option is if you're caught off guard, You want to be trained, professional, practice where you can instantly, that bird is there, pull it up, aim, shoot, fire, because you got a fraction of a second to make that shot happen. This has been your Northwoods Hunting Tip of the Week. This is your Northwoods Hunting Tip of the Week. If you're fortunate enough to have an early season turkey tag in your state for spring turkey hunting, this is an opportunity for you to be a little more aggressive than you probably would or should be later on in the season. As these birds have just come out of grouping, they're looking for hens, and they haven't really set up, a lot of these gobblers haven't been in fighting amongst themselves as much as they would be another 2 or 3 or 4 weeks down the road. Now, each turkey is different, each response to each call is different, but you have to feel their temperature out. If they're hammering the gobbler every time you touch a call, and you have to be cautious about when you should call and how often you should call, and if it's coming, shut up and sit back and wait for it. But this is a time in which you can be a little more on the call and pushing that sounds of the hen out there so you can be more successful. This has been your Northwoods Hunting Tip of the Week.